I thought I thought you changed the music too. It's like, oh, we're starting off happy. It just did it automatically.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh.
I'm Josh. I played a thing. Now I don't.
Aw.
Art. Ah.
Oh my god. Can't hear Ben.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't.
Mom, let
There.
us know. Does it work?
There, Mom, it should work now. I don't know why mine decided to be like that. Mom's doing God's... Exactly, Mom's always doing God's work. So it does say Assistant Regional DM under Josh now. I see that it's actually picking up the audio. This is what I get for trying to get... I bought a new set of cool little, like, wireless earbuds.
Oh no.
So I could use them for my workouts, and so I could use them here so I don't have this every time I'm playing. But of course, they don't want to work. So there's that. So yeah, Josh is the Assistant Regional DM. Thanks, Josh. Maybe we'll meet your character today. Who knows? We will see.
Maybe.
Hope so.
But
I can show you digging.
we don't have Diggin official art from her, but I think
fair.
I think we got to go next to Sarah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I play Maximil. I am currently with my father
Oh.
in Warsaw.
The hand on the face.
And how's my art getting out there?
Since you're not there, I will
Sam's in the chat.
Sam's in chat. Oh my gosh.
Warsaw.
Sam
Did you send?
Sam's here, so I'm sending it now.
Oh,
Sam,
gosh.
we are just doing character art reveal. I'm not feeling super well, so I don't sound as super excited, but I'm just as excited as all these people. But going into our Discord first and foremost and sharing it on the stream is Maximil Archambault.
All right.
Oh, that got so good.
Oh, it's so
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
Oh, it's so cool.
He?
We've been waiting so long to share these. I just want to admire them for a little bit. I'm totally covering my face so everybody can have the full image of this because she's so cool. I love like all the details here. If you look for the lighting, even down on Max's like left ankle, there's like a few. There's a few of the scales. A couple of the scales are reflecting the lightning as well on her feet.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's beautiful.
Brad.
We love it so much. Thanks, Sarah. Next up is Magic.
You want to tell us a little?
Do we
yeah.
tell?
Sure,
Yeah.
tell a little bit. Tell a little bit about Max
I think it'd be
Meals.
great to hear.
Hell yeah, do it.
Okay. Her new outfit is to show off more of her scales, since now she kind of knows where they came from, and she's proud to bear them as like battle scars of some sort. And so she's got a cool like popped up collar, short sleeves, long coat with intricate fun designs and little roses. I think the roses are so cute. I love the little roses.
I love the scales on the face. They look like freckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scales are so good.
She has mismatching earrings too. They're freaking sweet.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yes.
The little details are so awesome.
They're super adorable.
And come on, the Stella Tenuum.
Oh, yeah.
Gold
Yeah, the
necklace,
necklace is
too.
perfect.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And super fun sandals, I think, as well, because who needs practical shoes when you're cute?
When you're, and especially when you're in the desert, you never
Yeah,
get
especially when you're in
the
the
desert.
desert. Good call.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. I'm gonna re-hide Max here. And next up for introductions is Magic.
Hello, everybody. I'm Magic, and I played Tarak, the half-orc monk, and I am here with Sarah in Warsaw, and I'm also super excited about the new art.
I love it.
So,
You ready?
yeah, totally.
Without further ado,
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
Tarak, and his badass pose. So thank you, Sam, for a fantastic job. And as I think most of you know, Tarak comes from this sort of unlikely union of an orc mother and a dark elf father. And he wears just a sort of simple monk tunic, but he is happiest about the bracers that he scored recently.
Nice.
That actually, yeah, they look
Very
fantastic. And of course, his, I guess, most identifying feature is this quarterstaff with which he rarely parts and that he puts to good use when necessary. And I think Sam did really nice job with sort of his facial expression too. It sort of shows his struggle between his sort of hot-headed half-orc heritage and his more pragmatic monk ways. So thanks again, Sam. It's fantastic, and we're super excited.
I love it.
It is.
Those eyes.
I love the purple
yeah,
eyes
great.
so much.
Yeah.
One of my favorite features. All right.
But for some reason, I feel it. I feel it.
All right. Next up, everybody's favorite beefcake.
Zach.
Yeah.
Beefcake. Going right back to Cartman with that one. Hi, everyone. I'm Zach. I play Doran, our dragonborn barbarian. I'm so excited.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
In a bit. Yeah, look at that beefcake. Oh, I'm so excited. So yeah, Doran.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
The notes were pretty simple. I was just like, he's bulky from years of manual labor as a slave in Oodland. And with this outfit, basically, he is showing his worth in a way with his big arms and his wide shoulders and a little bit of exposed, pec action going on.
Yeah.
He's more confident in his fighting ability, so he's got a very fun, cocky, almost like a "come on, let's do this, let's bring it," and yeah, just
I like
simple,
that. I like
Yeah.
The sword is so great.
The sword's amazing.
simple clothes, simple vest. The sword looks so good. Yeah, I love it.
Good
I just,
Kriegmaster, man.
I
love-
chef's kiss, Sam. Thank you
I
so
love
much for this.
the face like cut out too. It's like not typical like dragonborn. It's kind of like, I don't know how, chiseled in a narrow way. It's like
Yeah.
super awesome and aggressive. I love it. And the
looks
scales,
so good.
the scales are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It looks
so,
so
much. Sam,
good.
Amazing work. And I just, when Ben sent me this, I was just screaming. I was like, ah, this is so good.
I loved Zach's initial feedback, like when we were in the sketch phase with Sam, she kept making the arms wider.
Arms wide.
Yeah.
I sent it to
The
Zach,
initial-
and his initial feedback was, "How about like 25% more bulk?" And so I sent it back, and she
I
just
was like, he
like,
looks a little thin. Maybe can we just go a little bit wider? And Sam delivered. And yeah, I was like, just think like Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the '80s. That's what we're kind of wanting to go with. And
Zach was like, just make it like mine.
He's such a beefcake.
Yeah, this is chef's kiss, Sam. Thank you. I've never had official art like this of any of my characters. I'm so excited. I love it so much. It's going right on my Twitter.
Sam, I apologize. I don't have the Twitch updated quite yet. I got sick over the weekend and was still feeling it today. But if you haven't, it's at s.bowne, I believe, on Instagram, and her information or their information will be in our description in perpetuity for the rest of this campaign. So it's a Conan action.
Conan action figure. Yes!
I love it.
Perfect.
Now that's wish fulfillment right there.
So
Beefcakes.
I can't even type today. It's SBOWNE. Yeah. I looked at it and I was like, it says Bwone, not BOWNE. I'm gonna go get another energy drink here in a second, I swear. Going to one of our two that unfortunately I love everybody's art, but I love the next two because they came with extra features, and we're gonna go to Nate's so we can.
That's me. Hi, I'm Nate. I play Soren Kleindair, the half-elf rogue blade singer. Ben, let her rip.
There we go.
Yeah! Look at that guy!
It's Soren and Astrid.
It's so good.
So good.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's nice.
Kitty.
Go ahead, Nate.
So many knives.
I do. Well, no, I have two. I have the two daggers, which I love. They're so perfect. And then the one rapier I kind of just kept at the side recently because, figuring out his own little style of how to do this whole blade singing thing that he's basically recreating. The owl cat, I love the little constellations that are just like so subtle in the whole complexion of it is fantastic. It's great. I love the color choices for it. I love the pose of this kind of like profile view. It's great. I love it all.
He's got just a little bit of pepper in his beard too. I love it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's so
little bit of gray. Yeah.
Even like the stitching on the gloves are awesome.
Yeah, the stitching I actually was noticing was like a really, really nice detail because I, as an artist, always omit that, and I know I shouldn't. But yeah, I love it. It's so great.
Yeah, Soren's phenomenal. My camera is blocked as I'm showing off this art, but I'm just sitting here with a big stupid grin on my face the whole time.
Nice.
No,
That's so cool.
Shut your mouth. I didn't notice that before.
That's cool.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, you did.
Yeah, I see it.
There were hidden
constellations enough.
There were hidden bits of information. Like I was like, you can just hide bear stuff in there because Ben is also bear, is what I go by in real life. So any bear related stuff that you spot, and then eventually when we unveil the full art, you guys will get a good picture of everything.
Oh my god, are you just a big bear in the background?
No, I'm not just a big bear in the background.
It's so much better.
However, like Sam and I, and Josh had some coordination on my part because of the art that's been done between the overlay and the logo, and now what Sam's contributed. I'm just gonna piss Sarah off. There are so many hidden meanings that maybe by the time we're done with all of this, Sarah's just gonna be screaming at me because they'll all have been in front of her the entire time. Oh yes, and we went the extra mile with Sam. Sam and I went back, like I just kept dumping ideas on Sam. She's like, "Yeah, I'll totally do it. I'll make it happen." And it's so.
That's cute.
And for our last intro and art for the day, until eventually we meet up with Josh's new character, David.
No, I'm not ready for this.
I'm David. I play Batran Yorl, the human witch, and my familiar Spackle. So let's see.
This is gonna be terrifying. Oh no.
I'm so excited.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh.
She's so creepy.
Oh my god, the colors are so good.
I hate it so much.
I love it, but I hate it, but I love it.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love the exposed the exposed chest so you can see the tattoos.
That is such a cool detail.
The very androgynous look of the character is awesome, and then there's wonderful little Spackle there.
that's not creepy at all.
Yeah.
So cute, baby.
It's kind of cute.
I like it too.
It's friendly.
Oh, God, Ben, why?
Because I'm a monster.
Thank you, Sam.
I
That
wouldn't
was
be
it's
worried at
amazing.
all if I ran into that in a dark alley. Like, hi, little girl.
Glowing ribcage.
She lives
Oh, you can
right
see
now.
it. That's insane.
She's very huggable. She likes to hug people. so-
Oh,
The ribcage.
Oh,
I hate
totally
and love
does.
that.
Oh, that's like something you'd see at the Haunted Mansion. I love it, but
Hold
I
on.
hate it.
I gotta undo the scaling on this now. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
So I gotta zoom it in on the stream so everybody can see. Oh, God. Oh, I hate it, but I love it.
Glowing rib cage.
It's so great. I also love that like the hair is just like this wild kind of unkempt thing that just
Yeah.
it looks like it's in the middle of being alive.
Gross.
That one spell is
Gross
the-
hair.
Since he's used it as a weapon before, yeah, it's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's so
Actual
beautiful,
nightmare
though. Oh my goodness.
There it is.
Sleeves are so nice.
The tattoos are just phenomenal. I love them, and the exposed chest, like you said, and David had some specific direction that Botrin should seem out of place, and that the clothes should hang off of them a little bit because they're all ill-fitting. And I love like the ropes used to tie pieces up, and there's like extra pieces just hanging off of it.
Oh, hi, Cat.
Very, very nice.
Fantastic, absolutely amazing. You did, yeah. I can't wait to show the
little
whole
stick of sword.
composition too, but gotta wait till we meet Josh's character.
Sorry, guys.
Womp womp. So
If you
we're gonna
guys
go
were
find Josh.
faster.
if you guys were a little bit quicker, it's okay.
If you didn't die,
I didn't die.
Diggin did die.
Diggin.
We made a very big point to make sure everybody realized that Diggin is actually dead.
Must be a boob window, but it's too big for it.
displaced.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. I love it. So
Windows.
last time we were here. Thank you again, Sam, for everybody, from everybody,
Thank you,
all of us here,
Sam.
Sam.
Yes.
Just
Massive
amazing
thank you.
work. Just
I love it.
phenomenal. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Sam, like we're not a big group, but anybody who comes and asks us and is like, "Oh man, you guys' character are so cool," guess what? They're going right to Sam. Everybody's going to Sam. I've even got other groups that are, like Sam closed commissions to like catch up on some stuff, and I was like, "You guys are too slow. Now you got to wait." As soon as Sam's ready again, they want commissions too. So
Oh, cool.
fantastic. Yep, I'm just gonna have to do all of Ciorion's character art from Sam now. I think. Just put Sam on retainer. That'd be amazing.
Retainer, yeah. Retainer fees.
There you go.
Gorgeous. But yeah, thanks for coming. We're gonna hopefully meet Josh at some point today. We'll see. But if not, we'll catch up and do the full reveal later. So last time we were here, we had just met up with we actually had not just met up. We were leaving Busat through a strange portal with the Biagi you all had with you that Josh was playing temporarily, named Gidget. And y'all were back in Busat because of your Knob of Hearth and Home, this strange doorknob that allowed you to teleport across the world. And the tavern happened to be at Busat. So, having stepped back through after some heartfelt goodbyes with Soren's wife and daughter, you guys found yourself back in the Ethereal Desert, refreshed with some rations and some things to get you through the evening as you made your way over to this oasis, where Gidji said that they knew where you guys could get some camels, so that way you could actually, survive the trip across the desert. You met up with a few individuals there, one particularly named Chana, a very young, about 14, 15-year-old girl, who described to you all the horrors of a creature called the Night Walker that had come through and laid waste to some very bad people who were abducting children and young folks from the city of Rechik, which is one of the walking cities of Ashahoya, but it's probably the worst of the walking cities. Rechik is not a good place by any means. But Chana says things were doing better there, and you were all pretty convinced that she could be doing a little bit better than staying in a place with all this trauma. So after a small, very sad funeral, which I made Josh go watch while he was in Vegas, and he texted me drunk and saying, I'm totally not crying, you're crying.
It was beautiful, guys.
A very touching funeral for Diggin, as well as Zephon, and just a little burial and parting of those memories. You also told Shauna to come with you the next day after you guys had purchased enough supplies, bypassing the little mission. You guys made some money. You don't need to do jobs to get things. You could pay people for them. Just give us our camels. We're going to be on our way. You find somebody else to deal with that giant bird. And you all headed off, or prepared to head off the next day. And Shauna was ready to meet you outside. And you all took off into the sunlight of the Ethereal Desert. For the uninitiated, Cyorion is a tidally locked planet. The deserts are very, very hot. In particular, today, that is not correct. What are we doing? I'm sitting here hitting my weather thing in Foundry, and it's like, sure, desert today is 60 degrees. No, it's not. There we go. 90 degrees today, because you guys are actually, for timeline, you guys are in Venetus, the month of fall. So even though it is very, very hot out in most places, it's cooling down a little bit. Scattered clouds today.
Could be worse.
Could be much worse at 90 degrees. It's a dry heat. But you guys have the camels, you have the feed, you have really all that you need. There was some cream that was given to you that Soren's wife had brought back. That was, I think you had 10 applications of that, we said, to kind of keep you.
I think so.
Keep the sun from beating down on you as badly. You had camels that actually had covers with them. The people who sell these do sell them with saddles with covers, with little screens you can pull down, so that way it keeps a little bit cooler for you, keeps the sun directly off of you. And you had enough food for the camels that they could carry on them for about 5 days. Shauna set everything up, and you guys told her you were trying to head back to Rosita as it was taking off to the northwest. That is a destination with an end unknown. For those of you that are on this map, and I actually can't switch over to the other screen because that one's got Josh's new character information on it, because that one doesn't rotate like this screen does. Yeah, I was frantically updating. So, but on our map here, I am going to need a destination for you all. You have an approximate area. Maximil, you know the routes that these cities walk. I mean, you've lived them for decades. You know that it's not common for the cities to go all the way up to the northern coast. There are some pretty bad towns there. You can't quite see it on the map, so I'm just going to send you a screenshot. But really, they try not to pass, for those of you that can see, that purple line.
Okay.
And Sarah, I'll send it to you directly.
Thank you.
For our friends, too, that are just joining us as we enter the Ethereal Desert, this is a desert the size of the Sahara that stretches across Limindor, the large southern continent of Cyorion. And these guys are smack out in the middle of it. So
We like things to be easy.
You do.
Yeah.
So you're about 2.5 days from the cliffs of Abesa where you left off. You know that you left Katya behind as it traveled to the east and Rosita was heading northwest. But that's really all you have to go on, is a direction. So we're going to go into some overland travel. I need to know who's going to be doing what. We need a guide, some lookouts.
I'll scout.
I'll be the guide. That's the survival check one, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
Could Max help Doran with that?
You can. Guide is the only one you can't, but that you can't aid somebody on for the whole trip. But for your departure roll, since Max knows the area really well, I'll give you advantage. Since she knows like where they travel, you feel pretty confident in making sure your directions is good. like you know where you're heading to. So we have scouts, and then we have hunter-gatherers as well. So we got...
Rock is going to help Soren scout.
Okay.
Cool.
Max will take the hunter-gatherer route.
And Botchin? There's a lookout spot left. If you
I will take the lookout spot. It's Spackle and I will.
Okay. Excellent. The only unfortunate thing is your terrain modifier is because this is the Ethereal Desert for untrained travelers. This is the most difficult terrain possible. And it's a 2.5 times difficulty modifier.
Even though some of us come from here?
How much time did you spend down the desert floor there, Miss Maximil? And how much time did you spend living up on a nice cushy city?
Did you walk a lot?
Point taken.
I mean, you walk a lot.
Could you carry everyone else too?
Can you just like homing beacon us to Josh's new character?
Yeah, I'm over here, guys. Come on.
Where he is, right?
You don't see me. Oh, it's a mirage. Sorry.
Oh.
It's a mirage.
All right. So, as per usual, Mr. Doran, I just need a route plotted out on the map in what direction you want to take. What I will give you is you have a rough idea. Based on the speed of the city, talking with Maximil, and this is what's really giving you your advantage, is that circle is where you think you'll most easily intersect the city, because they do kind of cut north a little ways, but you think that hex is where you can intersect them pretty well.
Okay.
I'm going to fill that for you with a bright green, so that way you can find it easily.
Rosita.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're at where our party symbol is down here.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if I want to, I mean, shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, no? So that's not the right tool. Damn it. Here's my. Yeah. Thank you. Straight line. This.
It's funny, I can see his little name thing moving, but I haven't seen the line pop up yet because he hasn't finished it.
It also looks like there's a small bit of water here that might be a.
Is that water?
Stop and get some right here. Looks like a little blue patch on the map.
Blue patches?
Potentially.
That's how accurate the map is. Anyone's guess, but
Yeah, no.
I see water. I think, water.
Trying to be a little bit more helpful to our friends here online, so I can see a little bit of what we're working with as you guys make your way across there. Choo 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 choo. We're professionals. I'll just cover me up for a minute. I'm not that important, but you guys now have your routes. You kind of know this massive. For everybody to remember too, each hex is about 24 miles across.
So it's a day travel.
Or sorry, 12 miles across. It's 2 hexes per day. My bad.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep.
It's gonna take a week to get there, at minimum.
You do have camels, thankfully, that are used to the area. You'll be traveling off-road. Are you guys trying to go at a faster pace or anything, or just want to go at a normal pace?
How fast are the cities moving next to you?
Not super fast, because they're these giant cities.
Right.
But, I mean, they're also giant cities that take big steps. Just slow but
And they
big
get to move
steps.
all
So
day, every
compared
day.
to the camel, right? I mean, compared to going 20 or so miles a day.
Maximil, you do know that the cities travel slow enough intentionally that someone trying to catch up to one on like a camel or horseback could do so.
Well,
They travel about half the distance of somebody on horseback a day, so they travel about a hex a day.
I would suggest that we make haste and we don't push the camels too hard, but we push them as hard as we can. So if we can go a little faster than normal, I would suggest we do it.
I think that sounds like a plan.
All right.
Right then, we are finding our way to Reseda.
34 hexes. Big old trip.
16 days.
Oops. Pull that out over here so that way it's not messing with them.
We only have enough camel food for 5 days, so don't we?
You do.
Worried about that.
Some of us are good at math. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Well,
It's
okay,
not
so here's the
bad.
question.
It isn't bad.
Okay, so people can go a little while without food. I'm assuming camels are the same.
Yeah, but not 11 days. 11
Well,
days.
no, I don't think it's. Is it really 11 days? I mean,
You space it
I
out.
didn't think we were that far behind.
Well,
You
I mean,
guys-
we can feed them every other day. They don't have to, they don't have to eat every day. I mean, that
Oh,
way.
I thought we were only like 3 days or so behind Reseda.
Good question.
No?
That's Max's best guess as to where you'll be able to intercept them easily. Because as you get closer over to the mountains, there's a lot more like difficult things.
Well,
you can
then
run
I
into.
suggest we bring more food with us. If
It's
it
gonna
might
take
take
that
us,
long.
if it might take us more like 10 days, then we should definitely bring
10 days worth of
at
food.
least plus a couple extra, because nothing ever unforeseen happens to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
I'm
bring
gonna-
at least 10 days, or at least a dozen days worth of food with us.
I agree.
All right. Have we left yet, or can we still
Shauna had brought your camels to your tent, and you guys had loaded them up. Like they had been purchased with a bit of food on them. Shauna was like, we could try to steal more. Nobody's up, and I'm not gonna be able to get out of here.
Oh,
Like,
we do
How
not need
much
to
does it
steal.
steal?
I mean, we will
Right.
leave money
Yes.
behind for the
Exactly.
trouble.
well, here's the
do you
deal.
think they're not going to part with it?
I don't think they're gonna part with me.
Right. Let's go steal it. Come on.
Well, let's steal the food and leave the money
Yeah.
and get out of here as quickly as we can.
Equivalent
Right.
exchange.
I mean, okay, but you need to pay them for me too. Then, if you're being that nice,
We're
don't
just
have-
going to pay for the food.
We're going to pay for the food. You're not an item.
I'm
Yeah.
not,
You
I'm
are
not
free to
buying.
leave
Yeah.
when you want.
I'm not buying a person. No. Where's the food?
No.
No, that's,
But
We,
she
we need to do this quickly and quietly before they wake up.
She
Yes.
points to one of the larger tents where the camels were congregating on the other side of the oasis. And there's some other ones tied to posts out there, and you can see big boxes of stuff. But go ahead and I need at least one stealth check if you guys are trying to sneak over there, and then somebody else give me another check of your choice, what you would like to do as you're trying to slip over there unseen and steal some stuff.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand works. Go ahead, Botrin, if you want to do that.
And Thorak is going to cast Pass Without Trace as we're trying to steal the food.
27.
I'll give the pass without a trace then advantage to the sleight of hand check since you guys are absolutely silent over there. So Botrin, go ahead and roll that one more time.
Sleight of hand
Yep, sleight of hand one more time as you're trying to help steal this food.
with advantage, right?
Yep. Well, just roll it one more time since you had it once already.
Oh, sorry.
That's quite all right. The 14 was first, so we'll take that 16. Yeah, between Pass Without a Trace, the fact that it's the middle of the night, but like dawn is like the veil is starting to recede and dawn is breaking. These people are just barely stirring. You can hear a few people getting dressed. You quickly zip over. You have bags already that are pretty full on the backs of the camels. Where are you storing all this, and how much are you
Bag
staying?
holding.
There it is.
Yeah.
How much are you jamming in there? Max is just like
Oh.
opening it up.
Yeah. Well, if we expect to be gone at least 10 days, then I think 12 days would be good. So we'll just pack it on the sides, on the back, however, and have to be able to pack it.
Yeah, the bag.
12 weeks of. Oh,
Bag.
bag of holding. Bag of holding.
Yep.
Or just use the bag of holding.
Hold.
Okay.
Okay. So Max has 7 more days of camel food in the bag of holding.
So the bag of holding can hold up to 500 pounds, and then a basically animal food standard per day is about 10 pounds worth of food. It's a just quick search on D&D Beyond. It doesn't seem right to me. I'm gonna half that for camels because they're cooler.
Because they're cooler.
Because they're cool.
So I would say you could jam in there about 80 units of food, which you guys have 6 camels to feed.
Okay.
Okay, that'll be good.
Should be plenty.
Yep.
And then each camel already has 5 on their back.
Perfect.
So we have 13 total.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Okay.
That should be enough.
Should hopefully be plenty. Oh, good thing I hid the browser window so that people didn't see me being a pro DM and Googling things really quick. All right, Doran, you have a pretty daunting task ahead of you. Let me get that departure roll.
Sure thing. That's a, remind me again, D12?
That is a D12 plus your survival, and you're going to get it at advantage.
Ooh, okay. Well, good thing, because the first one was a 1. Alright, and then that is a 6 plus 6 for a 12.
Nice.
Okay. So bringing it down from the challenge rating of this travel, not as good, but still on the good side. We're at 12. You manage to also find, as you're going through the camel feed, Botrin, you notice a small container of spices native to the desert. It smells wonderful, and there's a bunch of fresh, like, root bundles in there of like different spices that you can grind up, and bits of dried food for you guys. So you manage to snag some of the extra stuff, and gives you a great access to making some amazing food on the trail. So you guys are going to get +1 to all of your skill checks for this travel, since you have some amazing food to inspire you.
Actually prepared by Spackle.
I don't know how much anybody's gonna like that anymore if Spackle's making stuff for them.
I'm just imagining Spackle with like a
Tattoo
little
artist
frying
and a
pan.
cook.
Yeah, little frying pan, and it just like
Yeah.
creaks its head 180 degrees, just looks at you, just like,
Little chef's hat, little apron.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
How much should we leave?
I
Platinum?
don't know.
Platinum.
Yeah, a platinum.
That should be more than enough.
I hope. I
wanted this.
really hope.
I wanted to steal it because I feel like they knew they didn't give us enough food.
Then we could just leave a gold.
Leave it platinum. We might back or something.
All right, I'll drop the platinum.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You all take off into the desert, making your way across to the northwest, trying desperately to catch up to Rosita. Let me make a couple quick rolls really fast. 6. Oh my gosh. Fumbling about with my bag of dice holding here. Okay. Let me get a perception check from our lookouts, Botrin. Crossed on day 2 here of your guys' travel. I'm updating the calendar because if I know I don't, Sarah might beat me up because she needs to have this calendar for notes later.
Nice.
20.
All right, on the second day, as you guys are making your way across, you spot in the distance a Limia, I think is our pronunciation, Limia, this massive serpent in a dune, but you spot it from a long enough distance. Your +1 to your skill check as well for the 21. It's kind of sunning itself out on the rocks, like a little tiny outcropping, and you have the capability to circumvent it if you want to.
Lamaya.
Lamaya, that's it. Thank you.
Do we know if these creatures are friendly?
Maximil, you know that generally they stalk the cities. They're typically seen stalking Rechik, because they do abduct children, and Rechik is a place where children tend to get abducted easily.
We can give it Spackle.
We're trying to get rid of Spackle day one.
I suggest we don't chat with this
Yeah, go around.
little snake guy.
Okay. With your
We're just gonna Tokyo drift beyond that thing.
Tokyo drift. Okay. Yeah, with your great check there, you guys easily spot a way to get around it. Let me go ahead and get one more perception roll from you.
Wars and rest.
That's a 10 with the +1.
Getting a little bit distracted by the massive creature sunning itself back on the rock, and you're dipping down between the dunes to get out of sight. You fail to notice there's a massive dust storm moving up quickly behind you. Not a sandstorm like you got caught in, more like a very large dervish of wind that's kind of whipping up the sand around you guys. But it comes upon you pretty quickly, and the camels are starting to get a bit spooked, and Chana's looking around frantically for a place to tie them up. What would you guys like to do?
We're going to connect ropes between the camels.
Someone who's good with animals, please do that.
Okay.
I'm not sure to what you may be referring there, Maximilian.
Chana will grant since you brought Chana with you, and she's raised all of these camels, she will give you advantage to your roll if someone wants to make an animal handling check to kind of keep them contained together.
Yeah, not Tarak. I'm still kind of trying to forget that one. That I rolled and lost as our animals.
Botchin, you get one more roll of that since it was at advantage.
Oh.
Nice. 20.
That's good.
Okay. So dirty 20. You were able to get them calmed and lashed up mostly, and Chana has with her kind of this expanding tent on poles that she urges you guys all into, and it looks very similar to what the Bayaji had, the little fennec fox folks that would hide underneath the why is my notes application is breaking, I'm sorry. That would kind of hide underneath the rune or the dunes. She has one that expands out and holds in place, so you guys are kind of covered from the worst of the storm. But you do lose off of the camels, like when they're getting all skittish, you lose 2 days rations off of each of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are at 2 for them. But you start making pretty good time on that second day. Hi, baby. There's a baby hanging out above the screen at me.
That's a mirage. It's a mirage here in the desert.
Speaking of mirages,
Get away, Spackle.
Doran, as you're guiding everybody along through after the storm, you get slightly distracted for a moment because you swear in the distance northwest of you, you see palm trees and large white dome with a couple large spires coming off of it, like almost like a temple in the distance.
Does anyone else see that temple, or am I going crazy from the heat?
Do we see the temple?
Yeah.
Make a
Tarak's
perception
gonna
check.
use the Eyes of the Eagle.
Sure, make a perception check.
An advantage?
Yes, at advantage. The rest of you guys can make a just a regular perception check. If you're
Yeah,
trying to-
that's 19 plus 4, so that's a 23. Okay, 23.
Super good at those.
24, and I don't even have special eyes.
Ooh, getting sassy.
Nice.
18 for me.
Look at you and your special eyes.
Look
They're
at
just
the
glasses, man. Stop it.
Why did you?
Shauna looks out as well. The rest, all of you, smoked this check. Goodness. You stare for a moment, and you all see the same shape. And Shauna just kind of laughs a bit. Miss high up on the tower with her fancy city. You ever seen this one before?
In what?
This the you, Miss Fancy, high up in her castle up on the city.
I actually don't see what you're pointing at. I'm not gonna lie.
What was your perception check?
Low.
Oh goodness
I-
gracious.
But just 14, but everyone rolled like 20s, so like,
No, so you just needed a 12 to spot the mirage.
oh, okay.
The barrage.
The mirage. Everybody else clearly
Mirage.
sees it's a mirage.
Mirage.
Did I say barrage? Because I thought I said mirage.
You said mirage.
Just giving you a hard
Garage.
time. What? Garage?
Margarine is what you said. Margarine.
Margarine.
Taj Mahal?
Can't believe it's not butter.
He's sick. Take it easy on him, guys. Ben is like barely hanging on.
Roll for initiative.
Like, screw it, guys.
Oh.
It goes dark.
It's strange how many rocks fall on top of you in the middle of the
How
desert.
many rocks? Exactly.
He stole our camel food, man. He stole our camel food with us.
Weird that birds just fall out of the sky like that. Huh.
However, you spot the mirage. Everybody else sees it for mirage, and Shauna starts very clearly making fun of you. Oh, no, not from up on the great cities. Could you ever see the Cathedral of Yejun? No.
Sounds very, very impressive. Let's keep going.
Does?
Um,
Oh, well, we could.
It's got a name there. Oh, I said it as the party. That's nice. The Cathedral of Yejun. It's it appears throughout the desert. People claim to have seen it all over, but it comes to those in need. So, lucky for you, if you get sand in your shoes, maybe someone can help you get them out.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that that's real. That's not a mirage. That's an actual place that just magically shows up.
It's hard to say because most people see it and claim to have seen it as a mirage, and other people claim to have been there. I've never met anybody who's actually been there. But if you watch it for just a moment longer, and those of you that rolled higher than a 14 perception, Maximil still swears she sees it for a little bit, but the rest of you, it kind of shimmers and vanishes from your vision as you're all walking and fixated in the distance. And Botrin, or sorry, not Botrin, Doran at the front of the pack, guiding everybody. Your camel starts to and back up quickly, and you look down in the sand beneath you. You've stepped onto it, and it's loosely falling out from under you very quickly. So, Doran, as strange as it is to hear a click in the desert, click.
Click. Okay, Doran is going to try and reverse course as safely as possible to get away from the collapsing sand dune under him.
Need you to make an animal handling check.
All right.
The camel is frantically trying to back up.
Can I
14 with the +1.
do we get to respond to this moment too, or is it just him who gets the click?
The rest of you get to respond as Doran is. You're attempting to wrestle this beast back and like help it urge away as the sand is falling out from underneath you. And the rest of you were looking out at the mirage and very quickly shift your focus down to Doran, who is now sliding over the edge.
can I cast Enhance ability on the camel and give it advantage on dexterity checks to try and like make it faster and quicker?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. We'll give a camel an acrobatics check here. I didn't think I'd need camel stats today, but I'm interested in what camels in natural dexterity is here.
I think they're the same as horses in 5th edition. I can't remember.
Unless they're in their favored terrain,
Yeah.
Oh,
fighting their favorite enemy, sand.
The sand.
The wind.
It's gonna need it with an 8 dexterity.
Oh God.
Sounds
Wait.
all right.
I wouldn't know whether it's better to have like strength or dexterity for sand pits.
Gonna roll an acrobatics check.
Shit, at advantage.
At advantage.
Can
Shit.
Go ahead, Maximil.
can I cast levitate on Doran?
Can you cast it on both
You
of
cast.
I don't know if I can cast it on.
them? Cast it on the camel. If he's sitting on the camel, it's
We're-
gonna levitate.
Wait, is-
We're letting
is he sitting on the
Maximil.
camel?
We're letting
Yeah, sorry.
Maximil run her
No,
own
I-
character on this
is-
one. So you're casting it on
is-
Dorn
no.
or the camel.
I don't know what this is. Doran on the camel?
Yep, Dorn's on the camel. He's riding it.
Then the camel. If Doran's off the camel, I cast it on Doran. But if he's on the camel, for some reason in my head I pictured them next to each other.
Oh no!
But
He
if
was
Doran,
riding it. Yep.
Then definitely the camel.
The rest of you watch as the sand rips away underneath Doran's feet and reveals this 400-foot wide rift across the sand in front of you that you can't see a bottom to. Something you standing on it, something moving or shifting, caused all the sand to fall out. And
Oh God.
the camel rolled an 11 and starts to fall off the edge of the cliff. And suddenly it's floating in the air. And Doran, I need you to make an acrobatics check or something to try to not fall off this camel as it's scared and turning.
Oh, hold on.
While Maxim
Can I-
is doing
Nose goes.
that,
Nose goes. Doran. And then
can I
we're-
make an argument for an athletics check to try and hold on tightly with my strength?
absolutely. Soren,
Okay.
how are you reacting to this?
Oh, just spell cast. Just oh God, hold on.
Tarak, how are you reacting?
Tarak is going to try to throw a rope in Doran's direction.
Give me an acrobatics check. Or an athletics check, your choice. You're throwing it, but
Okay.
you're also dexterous. I'll give you either one.
Okay, so acrobatics plus 2, athletics plus, yeah, definitely athletics.
So I got
That's
a
a
23.
2, that's a 9. Hit another die.
The camel is trying to like figure out how to sit, and it's freaking out because it's looking straight down. But Doran, you get a good grip on that saddle, and you're holding on. It's secured well. Chana knows what she's doing, so the saddle is secured very well. But as it's freaking out, you just watch as the entirety of the contents of the food strapped onto the animal's back tips over off of it as it's like tilting and turning and freaking out in the air.
Stupid camel.
But there was only two more units of rations on that particular camel. So
Yeah, we're chipping away at him though.
I put another -2.
Okay, anyone have an idea how I get down from here? Because this is crazy.
I get the feeling this is your plan, so we have to eat the camels before we get where we're going.
oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's not what I intended. Please. I'm not that terrible.
I'm gonna eat a camel.
Okay, well,
Why do you think all of those? Why do you think I got all those spices?
I can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on my turn.
Okay.
So I would like to levitate the camel back
Sure.
to the ground.
With a 22, Doran, you hold on very well, and Maximil slowly backs this frantic camel back, and Chana will animal handling at advantage since she raised these camels. It takes her a minute. She works hard with Max as she's getting down, and she's like, Doran, get off the camel, please, for a minute. And she's like, got it by the bit and the bridle, and is like holding it back, and it's like, shh. Takes her like 10 minutes to get this camel to calm down. because it thought it was falling to its death. But with a couple sweet treats or something, or like small treats that she gives to it later, in about 10 minutes or so, she gets it relaxed and calmed down. But you now have a massive ravine cutting across, which is going to add half a day to your travel at least to get around it.
You said it's 400 feet?
Or 400 feet, not, why did I think 400 miles? Oh my God. I need to go grab an energy drink. I swear. I'm going to text somebody at my house and be like, hey, send a runner with an energy drink, please.
DoorDash, please.
Caffeine, please.
No,
Family DoorDash.
Luckily, yeah, family DoorDash, because luckily, can you please send a kid with an energy drink?
A 5-year-old ghostly child with no eyes to bring me an energy drink.
Get out of here, Spackle.
I want to help.
I want to help.
I'm so very sorry. It's just been a day. Yeah. It's not another half day's travel. You guys just calmly look and assess the situation. You can see where it's just a massive chasm that you can't quite see the bottom of. Tarak, you can see the bottom of it with the eyes of the eagle. It's really far down.
Tarak's from Shoshana is what happened here? Is this something you have to worry about more?
The sands shift. It's the Ethereal Desert is a very big and very old place.
Fascinating.
Plenty of dangers here. That's why the cities travel a route, but that's also where the most dangerous route for us to travel is.
Walk without rhythm.
If
Nice.
And I suggest we tether the camels to each other.
So that if one goes, they all go?
That is not how it works, Maximil.
What?
Gravity would disagree with you on that one, Tarak.
He's right.
None of you ever climbed.
They could anchor
mountains?
each other. It's
Yeah,
a
of
wise
course they
decision.
anchor each other.
Wouldn't that only work on slightly more stable ground? I mean, if it's sand that's falling into an endless pit.
Well, if one falls, there's still several of them that will anchor it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you happen to be on the one that falls? Wait, I suggest
we can spend time debating physics at a later date, okay? We have somewhere to be.
What's physics?
The natural philosophies.
It's physically using your brain to think of things.
Ben, as we make our way
that.
around the chasm, can I send my familiar down in there to scout out and see if there's anything cool down there?
Yeah, make an investigation check as she goes down there and takes a look. You haven't really gone
Not bad.
on archaeological digs in the desert, have you? I don't think that's
I have not.
I don't think
That
that's in Soren's backstory.
First time for everything.
In no way part of my backstory, but just kind of curious, like if Tarak mentions, oh, there's a bottom to it, like, oh, cool, I want to see if anything else fell down there at any point. So I got a 14 on the die, plus 1, 15, plus whatever my investigation is, which I can never remember, plus 4, so 19.
There doesn't appear to be any way into it, but it appears that there is some stone face down here, some rock wall that has some carvings in it at one point before the sand shifted and covered it up. You can see where the sand is beginning to pool up, something underneath it, some chasm underneath this stone effacement had just opened up and let this all the sand into it. But it's filled back up now and partially buried. There is there's a face kind of carved onto the side of it, though, in this statue-esque position of some divine being from just a first glance. You could sit and study it a little bit more, but at first glance, looking at it, it's definitely not something you recognize.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, as we've got our camels tied together, so I don't have to steer. So I'm just fully blanked out, just like flying around with my familiar down in the chasm, and what I can see if there's like anybody who fell down there or any ruins or anything like that.
Nobody that's down there, but the carving into the side of this what used to be an exposed, probably a cliff face, is intriguing. So you can go ahead and give me a religion or history at disadvantage because it's ancient.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna go history. Wow, not bad. 17 and a 19 plus my history, which is 7, so at disadvantage 24.
Good lord.
25, so
25 plus
1.
Yeah.
I'm very old. I've lived for a very long time.
Yeah. So this is the strangest bit of information pops back out to you from your time in the library in Kosoba as you were flipping through strange tomes, just skimming and looking for things. You came across a chronicle of ancient deities. And you recognize, just suddenly it clicks that you've seen this face before. And it's Kalo, which is an ancient tiefling god of rivers. Someone that was revered in the desert lifestyle to care for the few rivers that were there. This very soft looking tiefling face with rounded, almost goat-like horns, and carrying eyes and like long braided hair coming down both sides. Yeah, you recognize it as Kello.
How do you spell it?
Qhelo.
Q-H. Oh, cool. And wait, is it a god? No, it's a godlike figure that is a tiefling.
It looks similar to a tiefling. Yeah, you know the tieflings are native to here. No, not a god of tieflings, but a tiefling goddess of rivers.
Interesting. Cool. Just as I'm like fully blanked out, there's some fascinating shit down there.
Do we need to turn around?
No, I'm still glad we didn't fall in, but there's very interesting ruins down there that, I don't know who's in charge of that, but might want to go look at some point.
Who's in charge of what?
I don't know if there's some sort of expeditionary force in the desert that looks for things.
Ask the city girl.
Force in the desert?
Max, is that a thing? Do people send out expeditions to look for lost cities, ancient artifacts, anything like that?
Those of us down here try to survive. People up in tall towers may have additional resources.
Fair point.
Yeah, we did send out some expeditionary teams. It was really cool that they would come back with interesting artifacts and such. How do you think, we had to trade somehow. We had to get those artifacts. It's archaeology.
True.
And there's a difference between archaeology and grave robbing.
Time.
Yes.
So, you continue on through that day and most of the next, when you start coming to that small little blip of oasis you just spotted on the map earlier. Which
it's real.
Chana lets you know there is an oasis on the other side of the next few dunes. You'll arrive there in the next couple of days. Actually, it would be tomorrow. Sorry, I just ran the day forward one.
Know that.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. You're right there. It would behoove you to avoid it, she says. It's one of those places that the Bayaji say it's whoever happens to be there. It could be hostile, it could be friendly, but it's always a risk when they trade there, so they usually send scouts in to observe it for a day before they even consider stopping. So it's up to you if you would like to lead us there or not, Doran.
We have 2 scouts.
Well,
we may need more camel food. We lost a total of
4, I think.
yes.
Well, we lost 2 days' rations from each camel.
Right.
We have 5
that's right.
camels. That's 10 plus 2 is 12. We lost 12 total camel rations.
Well,
That's all of it.
I have you guys at a total remaining of 90.
Oh, okay. God.
So we still should have more than enough, and if stopping there might cost us time, or worse, I would suggest we, especially if our guide suggests we do not go there, I suggest we bypass it and continue on our way.
I would rather listen to Chana on this one. I mean, it's wise to listen to the voice of experience on such a dangerous journey.
Fair enough.
We'll navigate around if we...
Okay. So you guys choose to navigate around. Doesn't add more than half a day to your journeys. You just stay on the dunes south of it to avoid it. You do
while we navigate around, Tarak is going to use the eyes of the eagle to see if he can spot anything there, or people are looking at us, anybody coming after us, or things like that. If there's any danger that might come from it.
Sure. You do get a bit of an advantage where there's a few rain clouds coming in from the north that hit the area very briefly and give you a little bit of cover moving to the south as you head around it. Tarak, one thing you do notice in the break between like the little rain showers that are in, these are pretty heavy rain showers that come down torrentially for 10-15 minutes and then they pass by.
I love desert rain.
Yeah, desert rain's my favorite. But in that break, as it's drying and the sun is out shining again, you see one of the dunes to the north. There's a small whirlwind that appears near the top of it, and you can make out clearly little dervish whirls and spells a word in the sand. It cuts the word help into the sand, and then the sand washes back over it again.
Oh. Tarak turns to the party. I seem to have seen the word help written in the sand. I don't know if it was a mirage or perhaps somebody's trying to get our attention, or it could be a trap. But I thought it was worth noting.
If someone needs
In
to
the
help
words of the great General Akbar, it's a trap.
Shauna does chime in from the front. Likely a trap. And she's riding along with
just
Dylan.
someone who needs help.
Yes.
I mean, we can take care of ourselves if it's a trap.
They likely want to take our food.
Owen, could you possibly send your familiar?
I suppose. Where?
This was
we got
one of the northern
help?
dunes, like over toward the oasis.
Okay.
It's one thing for us to try to bypass trouble, but if somebody is already in trouble, I think we should at least see if there's anything we could do.
If someone is in trouble, they don't take the time to cast a big fancy spell that spells out help in the desert sands.
Unless they don't have another way to do it. I mean, not all of us can shoot up sparks into the sky.
That's fair. It might not be immediate danger. They might just need supplies or something. All right, fine. I'll send Astra to go scout as high as possible, so that she is very much hidden in the sky, to try and like peer down. Because I'm pretty sure she gets
advantage on perception.
Advantage on perception.
Yeah, I have to go pull her sheet, but I'm pretty sure she does.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make a perception check at advantage with her then.
Okay. I don't remember what the bonus is. Let me pull out my sheet real quick. Where is my cat's stat book? There it is. Okay, so perception is +4. I got a 17, so that's 21 plus another 22.
You're watching through her eyes as you get towards the oasis, and it doesn't look like anybody's in trouble there. With a 21, you see there's a bunch of folks well armed unloading a bunch of supplies into the houses, these like sandstone houses that are built up around this oasis, and a few tents. They seem to be unloading camels and carts that they brought in here. There's actually a smaller version of what would have been one of the old ancient wooden crafts that walked the deserts. This one would seat 1 or 2 people and would move a little bit more rapidly on like pedal power. A very wood core type apparatus that would just help them move quickly through the desert. This is one of the things that ancient tieflings used to like move and deploy small groups on when they were battling elves thousands of years ago. But there are groups of people, probably 30 or 40 folks in here, unloading boxes and bags and burlap sacks from one of these carts. And you don't spot anybody in any immediate danger. There are women and children hanging out there too, but everybody seems to be very well armed. And there's a banner that's stuck haphazardly in the sand that has a red star with a scimitar kind of wrapped up around it.
Huh. So yeah, just kind of bullet point explaining like women and children, supplies being unloaded into houses, you said a red star with a scimitar is their logo?
Yeah.
So just kind of
Does
explaining that
sound
out loud.
familiar?
Oh, Max Mill, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Ruddy's Brigade.
Ruddy's Brigade?
Yeah, Ruddy's Brigade. And Ruddy's Brigade is a group of bandits that travels around the desert, picking off supply caravans where they can. They tend not to leave massive amounts of murder in their way because they don't want a lot of trouble coming down on them. They're a decently equipped fighting force, and they just snag part of your supplies if you're caught unawares by them, and then they'll come back here and stash everything. And the last thing you note, Soren, as you're going by, is a couple teenage-looking tiefling kids playing up on the dunes, passing a wand back and forth, making little wisps write things on the sand.
Got it. Okay, so they probably weren't even trying to signal us. Like, do I get the sense that like they haven't even seen us yet from the distance that we're at?
No, they haven't spotted you. And they're
Okay,
like,
so
they're
yeah,
using
they're
it to like blow wisps of sand at each other and write things in the sand.
Okay.
You get a good overhead visual. There's like a penis drawn on one side of the sand. These 2 teenage boys playing with a wand, just laughing and being ridiculous.
2 kids drawing dicks in the sand. No, they haven't seen us. There's nothing that we need to help with. I don't know. Let's go around.
I'm glad you checked. My conscience is a little clearer and easier, lighter.
We should probably make haste, though, if we don't want them to spot us.
I agree.
Yes.
Agreed.
So you guys make your way past the oasis out into the desert and start to set up camp for a short rest for the evening. And Botrin, I need you to make a perception check for me. At night, so this is a visual perception, so make it a disadvantage for me.
Failed that horribly.
What was your total on that?
3?
3.
4, I guess.
Yeah, so
Yep,
plus
a
one.
4 with a
big
plus
difference.
1. So as you're all bedding down for the evening, the camels are taken care of. Botrin's trying to work with Spackle to set up a scouting arrangement for the evening. Everybody's kind of getting their tents laid out, their sleeping arrangements under the stars, whatever it is. When very suddenly and rapidly you hear little and these thumps of something impacting the sand quickly. As very rapidly 3 of those small crafts holding multiple people surrounds a lot of you guys. About 25 individuals. One large.
Are we all sleeping for this?
You're all kind of like laying down and getting ready. They surround you quickly, They've got hands on weapons kind of clasped over there. There's scimitars tucked in the front of these cloth belts, and they've all just kind of got hands clasped over them. As one large bugbear steps up to the group of you guys, as you're looking bewildered, you are very quickly set upon, and they surround you without launching attacks. There's a little bit of yipping as soon as you guys start to realize you're being surrounded. You can take an attack action if you guys want to, but they don't attack you. They surround you very quickly and kind of just encircle the camp.
Is there an obvious leader?
The bugbear that's stepping up to talk to the group of you guys. He's got his hands on a very big sword on his hip as he's walking up.
I'm gonna lock eyes with Doran and Turok. Just come on. I'll make my way kind of towards him. Daggers at the hip, still ready, but just like kind of matching their posture, like hands rested on the handles, like ready to go.
Turok grabs his staff, looking as intimidating as he can without looking aggressive. But kind of like just the you really don't want to fuck with us attitude.
Yeah, Hank, same for Doran, just sword over his shoulder, walking up, just looking.
Trust me, buddy. It's not worth it.
Oh, it's not, is it? Mm.
Lots of easy pickings in the desert, and I can assure you, friend, it's not fucking us.
Just
okay.
Do yourself a favor.
Shauna's kind of in the back, looking at the group of you guys, going, well, not trying to be rude or anything, but you did pass by the oasis and didn't stop in for a drink or even to say hello.
Nor are we obligated to.
Sure, we could have assisted each other. Where are you heading, friends?
None of your beeswax.
Business is our own.
Yes.
You don't seem well equipped for the travels, I should say. It's just looking at the camels, a few rations each. Or do you need any supplies? We'd gladly trade with you. We've recently acquired some food of our own, and would be willing to sell it to you.
We're quite all right, thank you.
The offer is appreciated.
Doesn't sound like it's appreciated, but
we don't appreciate being surrounded in the night. No, but
we don't
your
take
hospitality.
Risks. Sorry,
is very much appreciated.
Well, in that case, you don't want to trade, and you seem to be on edge a bit, but this is just a precaution. You have to understand there's some bad people out in the desert.
Have you ever heard the phrase, if you don't start anything, there won't be anything?
I have. Yeah, I've stayed alive with that one.
Words to live by.
Very good. Okay. Well, we'll be leaving the oasis soon if you're needing to head back there, if you're wanting to take up some water for your camels, maybe spend the night. Yeah, I'm just saying it's got to be better than out here in the middle of the desert.
Oh, I quite like it.
Very good. Okay. Well then, anybody who was not talking there, so Turok, Botran, Doran, give me perception checks as you're kind of like watching this guy and the group around as Soren's engaged in conversation with him. Maximil as well, sorry.
Oh, Max, okay.
Just regular perception or at advantage since I've got the Ice of Eagle?
This is audio and visual. This is just kind of taking in the situation and seeing what you
Just an 11 for me.
Okay.
13.
That's a 1 for Turok.
25 for Doran.
All right.
The beefcake sees all.
He does. Doran, what direction are you looking? North, south, east, or west? You're surrounded. This guy came at you from the east.
Came for me from the east, so I'm kind of just one of these, head on a swivel, so I would directly see east and then north and a little bit south. But just like kind of doing one of these, like darting back and forth.
most of his guys behind him are standing at a casual but combative position. You can see that they're tense. They expected you all to want to fight them, and they may have been a little bit looking for it now that you've stood here for a bit, and you can start to smell the sugarcane and rum alcohols making their way across. These guys seems like they were having a good time, got into it a bit, and wanted to scrap with someone, and someone had seen you all. Oh, we like to extend our hospitalities, especially when we've had such a good couple weeks of business, let's say. But if you don't want to partake, that's totally fine with us. You could have some more manners in the desert, though.
Manners would include sneaking up on someone in the middle of the night, hands on your weapons, ready to go. Don't lecture me on manners, boy.
Boy. Very well. Well, we wish you all a good night and a swift fortune in the future. And they all start to climb back up on their craft and prepare to head out. And Tarak, you can see in the dark with the eyes of the eagle as they're all climbing on board. They have their hands on bows, ranged weapons. And as they start to take off, about a dozen of these guys stand up and send a volley of arrows back towards the camp.
As soon as Tarak sees it, he just yells, "Attack!" And he prepares. And he actually, how far is the leader?
These guys move quick. These craft have a overland movement speed in the sand of 100 feet per round. So as soon as a couple of them start pedaling, they're taking off.
So they already took off.
They're about 120 to 200, or 100, between 120 and 200 feet with the four craft that you saw, with two people pedaling and then a bunch of people standing on the backs, and they're just up towards the top of the dunes, and they're taking a volley shot back at you guys.
And how so the archers are on the crafts, or they were hidden?
No, they're actually, it's like so imagine, if you will, a platform with 6 legs that's got someone working, with 2 people working a set of pedal controls to power this whole device. And once they get wound up and they start taking off up the dunes and they're moving at a high speed, they shoot you as they're cresting the dunes there.
Gotcha. All right.
So there's a platform with 6 people per standing up.
All right. So Tarag just yells out, "Avos, watch out!" And he gets ready to dodge and catch and throw back if possible.
Sure. You guys are all standing up near the edge of this circle where you were kind of setting up camp for the evening. What are you all doing? We're just going to run down the list. Doran.
Doran is going to see. I don't know if this is good or bad because there's a bunch of tense stuff that's flammable. I was thinking about lighting those arrows on fire, but that could be bad for us too. So Doran is going to try and, when these arrows start getting closer, he's going to try and swipe them out of the air with his sword.
Okay. And Soren, what are you doing?
Okay, so 2-part question. Part 1, how far away is the leader from me right now where I'm standing?
Do you have dark vision out to about
60
180 feet?
No.
Okay, you can't see where he's at then.
All right, so I guess hearing the arrows, just kind of stand there, and if I see one of them coming towards me with, I guess, 60 feet of dark vision, shield, and just kind of stare off into the dark, just...
Okay.
Shit behavior, boys.
Tarak, you were preparing to catch one if it comes towards you yet? Taking a defense action? Okay.
Yep.
Maximil?
I'd like to take the dodge action, just like.
Okay. And Botrin,
Dodge. Yeah.
you all prepare near the edge of the circle where you stood, toe to toe with this bugbear to stare him down. And you hear the arrows come flying in, sail right over your heads, and you look behind you as a couple dozen arrows impale the group of camels that were tied up together at the back. And Chana just begins bawling. That's where we're gonna take a break. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Everybody,
we get to kill them and steal their cool cars.
Yeah, that's
right.
Ooh, it's go time now.
Doesn't need food. It's great. Can't wait.
All right, y'all.
Desert bikers.
Desert bikers. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Guess who's having camel for dinner?
God, no. Oh no, food.
Oh. We're
Hey,
back.
but,
We're back, and
you know-
Shauna had named all of those camels. Let's just be real.
I gotta put those cooking spices to work. You know. So,
You do now. That's for
I
sure.
cover up that gamey taste.
Anyways, I'm trying to help you, Josh. I
Hate you so much.
was like, Josh, we need like this type of music. He's like, I don't know. Like, what about the mood? And I was like, I don't know. Desert plus hot. Like, I don't know, man. I can't think straight today.
Desert plus hot.
But
That's so fucking hard.
so, as we were cutting for break, you all prepared for this volley of arrows that was coming in from from this bugbear and his compatriots, who you must assume was ready with his brigade, as they waylaid your camels. And they targeted the group of camels in the back. I just need someone to roll a d20 for me, and if you roll a 1 to a 3, Chana gets hit by an arrow.
Ooh.
All right, who wants the responsibility?
Can I do it?
Yeah, Josh, you're responsible.
I'm happy to roll it with my devil's bargain thing that I had.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ooh. Here we go.
You already made the devil's bargain. The bad thing is still
alright.
to come.
Hey, I'm digging.
You are digging, yeah, because you still technically control that player character.
I forgot I have his character sheet. Woo!
With a 10, Chana's fine. She's just back there now, sobbing as she's trying to take care of these camels.
Oh, do I have
Most
the
of
song
them-
for you?
Most of them were hit by 3 to 4 arrows apiece.
Do any of them look still alive and savable?
I will take an animal handling or a medicine check, as Chana is back there just bawling and is absolutely no help to you right now.
Nope, that's a 4. Plus, I don't know what my bonus is, but it's.
I'll roll
it's
a medicine
3.
check.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a medicine check. This is all pretty much everybody's scrambling to check this out now.
That's a 9 with the +1. Even though I have a +5 on medicine.
Oh,
All right.
the 4 and a 9, they all appear to be dead or just about to be dead. Like the last death throes and rattling breaths are escaping their lungs.
Or the camels.
Alright, time to go kill these guys and take the shit.
They
don't
were
they
so
have a
far
letter
back.
specific? Just wanted to
Max?
resolve this peacefully. God.
Max would like to cast message to the leader,
Okay.
and she's gonna go. I thought you were Bugbear, but I think you may be part Tabaxi, you pussy.
It's not bad.
Holy shit, Max.
Oh no, you didn't.
Just turn my head, just.
You all felt the vibes from that message, even though it was sent in a message.
I think you have to say it out loud for message, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you
it,
do?
It was,
Yeah.
it was
I
out
wasn't
loud.
saying.
It was out loud.
Okay.
So should we see if he comes? I'm going to wait and see if he comes back now.
You wait.
Let him come.
Nothing comes.
Fuck it, let's just go find him. Those things leave tracks, easy enough to follow.
They do, but they're so fast.
So? We know where they live.
No, you know where they were half a day's march ago.
It was their
You said that
storehouse.
he was returning back there.
I'm not taking him on his word, but I know bandits. They store things in a specific place and then they come back to it when they need it. Let's go fuck up his storehouse.
Agreement, yes.
Graffiti.
Been some time since I've used my fire breath.
Graffiti? No, not graffiti. No.
What we graffiti and fireball?
Graffiti with
Sure,
fire
we could
is.
graffiti
I will
it.
turn my
Graffiti
name
with his
into
fire
his
breath.
house. Yes.
It is night. Are you guys heading back there now? Like right now?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Easiest to
Absolutely.
travel at night when we don't have camels.
Yep.
Okay. Tarak, let me get a survival check. If you're tracking, or who is tracking these guys on their
I guess I would be
machines?
as the
You can
Probably Tarak, though, because of
Oh,
the
because you have the eyes
night
of
of
the
the eagle. Yeah, the
Yeah.
eyes of the eagle and night vision.
you guys can work together though, and Tarak, you can get advantage.
yeah, I'll give you a
On what?
Survival to track them.
Survival. Okay.
Come on. Okay.
Okay, 17 plus survival.
Survival is plus.
Plus 1. 18.
You follow them for a time, and
But-
about an
Wait. I'm sorry. We're not actually following them because they might not be going there. We're going to.
you guys going
I thought the
directly
plan was to
to
go to the oasis.
directly
Because
to the
there's no
Oasis.
way we can catch up with them. Yeah, I mean,
Somebody
they're going at
somebody
180
said
feet.
somebody said tracking them, and someone said going directly to the Oasis.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any way we can catch up with them if they're going at 180 feet, right?
I mean,
So.
you may be able to, but I don't know if
You
the
said-
rest of them
Yeah,
can.
right.
You said
yeah,
they
I
were
thought
heading
They were heading east, back towards the Oasis.
east.
Yeah, so it's
Okay, so
heading
as
back
long
to
as
the
they're heading
Oasis.
towards the oasis, we're going in the same direction, right? Yeah.
Okay. You guys start to head toward the Oasis.
Do you want your desert hot music?
No, it's nighttime still. I don't need that.
It's nighttime. Give us desert cool music.
No, I'm ready for this desert hot daunting music.
Vengeance.
Yeah, vengeance.
Yeah, I gotta
Desert
play it now that you queued me up to it. Because I had it on deck for I don't know what, but
Son of a bitch.
screw it, you're getting it.
This is Desert Hut.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal. Wow. Oh my god. Anyways. It's a little bit off basis for what I'm doing today, but oh yeah, we have two people who aren't even on Foundry today because they can't get logged in, and the rest of us are just like rocking out to this ridiculous music
I
choice.
assure you, it's very cool.
Yes.
For you guys about to go into an oasis to fuck it up.
It does take you guys quite a while to travel there.
We're here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
And we're all out of camels.
Oh god.
Did someone say we're all out of camels?
Yes.
He did.
We are losing track of this one tonight. But
Here to kick bubblegum and chew camels.
And we're all out of camel.
you guys takes you most of the evening. You were riding on camelback out to the desert, and now you're trekking back on foot towards the oasis that you left. Some
Yeah, but we're
4
pissed.
hours behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Termination walking.
Walking.
Rage music.
Okay,
It's-
Yeah.
you are walking back with a rage and with a vengeance.
Yes.
And you,
Yeah.
after about 4.5 hours of marching, arrive back at the oasis. And Tarak, you can see it with the dark vision and the eyes of the eagle as you crest the sand dune. A completely lifeless oasis.
Yeah. Tarak turns back to the party. They appear to have gone somewhere else. It's deserted.
Where are the houses? You said there were
They're
stone
still there.
houses here.
Those are still there, but there's nobody moving around.
Possible they are all asleep inside the house.
They took something from us.
Can you,
We take something from them.
Stohan, can you send your familiar?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have her do a quick kind of just pass through, see if there's any. Because you said they were houses, right? Not like
yeah, like sandstone.
not just like
house-
buildings.
yeah, they're like sandstone houses. There's 3 of them, and then one of them is a bit larger that they were putting stuff into last time you saw them there. It seemed like
Okay.
a bit of a bigger house.
So not as interested in that one. I'm going to be having her mainly look at the 3 that appear to be like homes, because I want to see if anybody's in there.
The tents are also torn down. The tents that used to be here, they're gone.
Okay, that's fine.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, got +4 if I recall for my stats. So does she get the +1 bonus or no?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. Astrid flies in, makes her way twisting through the homes, looking to see if anybody's in the windows. Does not see any movement. And eventually makes it back around the larger building. And you can see something does catch your eye, though, as you come around the building. There's something new graffitied on the side of the wall. A very crude drawing of a camel
NW?
lying down with a bunch of arrows stuck in it, and then X's over the eyes and a sad face with a tongue hanging out.
Funny.
Okay.
Insensitive.
They drew a dead camel on the walls. Fucking idiots. Whatever. It doesn't look like there's anybody there, but let's move quietly just in case.
Wow.
See what's in that storehouse.
If that drawing is for us, they assume we're coming back.
Most likely.
Could be a trap.
Could be a trap.
Most definitely.
Then let us spring.
Why can't we just say screw it and spring the trap? I want to punch something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of what I'm feeling too.
Okay. Let me, you guys just try to take up a sneaky position and, like, slink into the camp. I'm not going to make you roll stealth checks beforehand, but you guys try to move quietly into the camp. You can see decently fresh tracks. Trock and Doran, give me a survival check really quick.
You got the
No, right,
Do they look
that's
human
12
or a
plus
sand crawler?
It's a 16 for Doran.
plus 1. Yeah. That's a 13 for Tarak.
They do, most of them, those of you that aren't doing the survival checks for me, you just very clearly see human booted footprints, you know, various sizes moving about the camp. Doran and Tarak, 16 for Doran. Probably tell that these were, you know, a few hours old. There are tracks that are fresher that had come into camp. You guys do find one set of the walker prints in the more caked mud closer to the center of the oasis. And there are, you know, 6 little they look like little wooden prints, actually kind of like this, you know, circular, that just hit on the ground as these things move along. That is the freshest set of tracks. Probably 2 hours old at this point. Maybe 3.
Like they came and loaded up and left in a hurry. Cowards.
All the humanoid footprints, though, definitely left like many hours before that. But
Is there anything in the camp? Anything left?
Nothing on the outside of the camp. There's, you know, scraps of old fire and, you know, food that's been overturned into the near the oasis. But there are the 3 buildings that appear to be unlit and unattended.
All right.
Well,
Tarak is going to move to one of the buildings and examine if it's in any way trapped. The front entrance is trapped. Or
Which
look in
one?
the windows if there are some.
We have, let's say, 2 small homes and then the one larger home that was seen loading stuff into. And the larger home is the one with the dead camel graffiti on the side of it.
Mm-hmm. The larger home. Does it have any windows?
A couple on the second story. Very thin windows,
Okay.
no more than about 8 inches wide. And then a large set of double doors on the side near the crude camel drawing, and then a front door as well.
All right. All right. Tarak's going to climb the wall to look into the second story window.
You take a look inside, and there's some pretty crudely made wooden furniture in here that's been knocked over. But looking around, there doesn't appear to be anything of value, nor is there any person in here.
Okay. He's going to expend a key point to teleport inside, since I assume they're in shadow. And night.
You appear inside the building. There's a
All right.
bit of a bit of a gust of wind as the shadows move, but that is the most motion that's been in this room for a little bit. Everything else seems to be undisturbed besides this like tipped over laying on its side. You look around and very easily can see just from a cursory glance inside the room that this was packed up and taken off, but not in a rush, not in a hurry. Someone was able to take time and pack up, and the things that are knocked over is just probably from shoddy craftsmanship. They're crappy chairs.
All right. As he approaches the front door, is there anything that looks like it might be the front door maybe trapped?
The front door or the double doors where the stuff was storing? Just going in out the front of the house?
Yeah. I mean, moving, because you said there was a second. So
yeah,
so the second source. So I guess it climbs down.
Just with your passive investigation, there is a bell chime attached to a string at the front door that would signify somebody opening it.
Okay, so I'm going to try to deactivate whatever it was that's...
Sure. Go ahead and just make me a sleight of hand check, and everybody else, what's going on with you guys outside?
I guess I'll just still be scouting kind of perimeter. Perimeter scouting with Astrid, just trying to make sure that like they're not sneaking up on us.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brock yells out, "There doesn't seem to be anybody in here, but something is, there seems to be something with the front door, like maybe some trap. I'm going to try to defuse it." And he rolls a 1.
The rest of you hear ding, 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 as this bell falls from the ceiling and clatters across the floor. You deactivate it because you just kind of break the string, and then it just falls loose and lands on the ground.
I think I hear anything. Can I hear? I don't think I can hear.
He opens the door, just kind of shakes his head.
Yep, front door is fine, besides the little doorbell that signifies someone walked in. Doesn't seem to be trapped. Nothing goes off on you, that is. What would you guys like to do? What happens next, as it were? Because nobody approaches you. Nobody comes running to the bell. You're watching the other homes, and there's still as the water in the oasis in the middle of this night.
Do I see them with my scouting?
You do not. They're nowhere near.
Well, what do you think? Burn it all down?
No, because some people may actually come back here to live who are good. Shauna said that it depends on who lives here, and so if there's good people who need a refuge, we shouldn't burn it down just because we're spiteful about several very good camels.
I look over.
Well, I know what David would do, but I don't think Botrin would think about that, so I'm not.
Doran looks over at Chana and just says, "Chana, you have final say. Those were your camels that burned it down."
No, people use it.
Where else would they go?
They travel around and they steal from people. There's lots.
Is it possible they could be headed to the next oasis? There was one coming up in a couple days.
Soren, you did note as you were scouting around those tracks that you had most recently seen, the fresh ones that were pointed out to you. Those ones head off, and all of these humanoid tracks, they head off back to the southeast. If they were going somewhere, their most likely next destination would be either the oasis Chana came from, or chasing down behind Katya. They could be going anywhere. The desert is massive.
I do not think we should let our personal vengeance affect our mission as much as I would like to make them bleed for what they did. I think we need to try to reach Rosita as fast as we can, with or without camels.
I really don't think that we can make our way on foot across the desert.
I don't either.
I don't know. No. Shauna, what do you think?
Sorry.
We're debating whether we can reach Rosita by foot, and Tarak asked Shauna what her opinion.
We could. we could always try walking to the next oasis. Or yeah, maybe we might get lucky and find more people to buy camels from. I don't know. What I really knew for the last 2 years was raising camels at that oasis, and I got all excited to go out on an adventure and get out of this place, and now all my camels are dead.
Unfortunately, welcome to adventuring life.
Is this what you guys do?
What, steal
Yeah.
and steal
Sometimes
camels?
it's better.
But
Yes.
most times
Sometimes
it's
we-
worse.
Most times it's worse.
A lot more dragons. A lot
What?
more
Usually,
dragons.
yeah. Weirdly, more
Dragons?
Yes.
It's usually it is much better, really.
I hope so.
It's much better. Very, very rewarding. And money, gold. Yes.
Then take what we can from here. I don't know. Steal whatever we can from here, and then let's go.
Fine.
Very well.
Everyone spread out, see if we find anything worthwhile to take with us.
Doran, you know the place they were loading stuff up at. It's the big double
That's the
doors
big
next to the dead camel graffiti.
And there's nothing in there from what Turok saw, right?
He didn't go back into the storeroom. He went through the main part of the house and out the front
Yeah,
door.
I was.
Oh.
Yeah, Tarak came back because he wanted to just let everybody in. So now that that's done, I'm going back, checking out the double doors.
Okay.
But again, making sure that they're not, before opening them, looking for any potential traps.
Can I check for traps?
One of you can make the roll, and the other one can aid.
All right, I'll roll.
Okay.
I'll eat.
So, with advantage then?
Yep, with advantage.
Wow. Yikes. What's my... It's an investigation?
Yeah, investigation to check for traps.
Oh, 14?
It seems clear. You look for the strings and things like that, and you peer through the slats looking for different pieces to, that might manifest a trap or pull some trigger. But it's hard to tell in the dark, and Turok did a great job with snipping the last string, and it seemed okay. So you don't see anything too threatening. Is everybody spreading out, by the way, and going to different places? Do we need to search the other buildings?
I'm gonna stick with the storeroom.
Okay.
Max plops down by the oasis and just sends shocks across the top.
Okay. Batrin?
I am checking the dunes to see if somebody has buried themselves in the dune and then covered themselves up and trying to hide in the dunes or whatever. But
Yeah, we know people do that.
And Spackle's just running around behind you. And just digging in the sand furiously and sending sand flying everywhere trying to find somebody. Okay.
Am I crazy? Does Spackle have a knife? I remember Spackle having a knife.
Spackle had a tattoo needle.
Maybe that was
Previously.
it.
Spackle has crazy nails.
Oh, that's crazy nails. All right.
Daggers for nails.
So we're going into the storeroom to see what's in there.
Is the
Yes.
door locked?
No, it doesn't appear to be. No, it's just a simple, wooden lever handle door.
Do I have mage hand? Max, I know you're shocking.
sorry about that. Somebody came to my door.
No problem.
You can conjure a mage hand, correct?
Yes, I can.
No.
Batrin, can you? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Do you mind opening the door? I'm twitchy. I don't trust my skills at the moment, and I don't think they would just leave their belongings here untrapped.
All right. I cast Mage Hand and
Okay.
push open the double doors.
Everybody steps back a ways. How far does everybody step back?
I'm going full distance, 30 feet.
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
40 feet behind.
Well, I'm obviously at 30 feet because that's the...
Everybody else?
Ben, you...
Just sitting at the oasis.
Yeah.
Speckle, on the other hand, is standing right in front of the
30
door.
feet.
Okay. Enough teasing, but you cast Mage Hand. The strangely tattooed, ethereal-looking hand appears.
Cool.
With long, twisted fingernails and grasps the door handle, pulls it down. You hear the as it like creaks against the wood, and you hear a click.
Father.
As a fireball explodes in the doorway, just debris flies out, and the entirety of the storeroom is burning.
So they could have killed probably at least someone who was just traveling through the desert. Are we content with going and hunting these fuckers down now? Theft is one thing, but that would have obliterated some poor traveler. No?
Yeah, it would have. But we also need to get to Bussard. We need to get to Rosita.
I'm aware.
And I am all for vigilante justice.
No,
You
this is
know-
not just vigilante justice. This is...
I'm with Soren on that. If we can, the issue is
This
Well,
is
we know they're
claiming...
catch up with them.
Exactly.
We know their
This is
signs. We
reclaiming of
know
time.
their markings, right? They're
We know what they're called, right?
Yeah.
red star with the scimitar. Ruddy's Brigade.
Reddy's Brigade, or whatever.
Point of order.
POSs.
If these people are out here doing terrible things. I mean, won't the Night Watcher get them eventually?
I mean, sure,
Yeah.
eventually, but we don't even know if that thing's... We don't know how attentive it is to wrongdoing.
Killed people who
Well, I
hurt
mean, we
me.
could always try to do the Vetomantic ritual to get it to attack them.
Is this fire sending a plume of smoke into the sky?
Yes.
Good, but then
Hmm.
over here.
They
From that
might
suck up
come back. If
I don't
they
think
think that we're... No?
I mean, we could all play dead.
Mm-mm.
Lie in wait like a trap.
But
This
how
is-
could we confirm that they are coming back and we're not just going to be sitting here and letting Rosita get further away one way and bandits get further away the other way?
Exactly.
Well, even if Ruddy's Brigade doesn't come back, the smoke should attract some, or might attract somebody that has like a mode of transportation that's better than being on foot.
It's possible.
That's true. That's hoping someone's within the however many mile radius.
And is awake to see this.
True. It is the middle of the night.
I thought it was
think
closer to morning when we got here.
It's about 3 in
Is
the
it?
morning.
Okay, shit. I think my idea of chasing them down was also... yes, obviously for revenge, but more importantly, they have those means of travel that we do not.
Yeah, that'd be so kick-ass to have.
They have those methods of travel that we do not. They are so far ahead of us now.
Yes, but
Unless they're headed
eventually-
to that... They maybe head to the oasis that Chana was at.
While we're debating, Tarak is going to look at the... you said that there were some like footsteps or the steps from thing in the sand, and what direction is that going?
They're heading
Back.
southeast.
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 Like the
And
exact
that's-
direction that we came from.
Yeah, east
Yeah.
by southeast. Not necessarily exactly the way, but in that general direction. In that 15 to 20 degree arc on the compass. But as
Wow.
you're looking down at the prints and you smell the burning coming from that storehouse in the middle of the desert, a familiar smell from today wafts across your nostrils as you smell the fresh wet sand on the breeze and a bit of the ozone is in the air. There's another one of those 15-20 minute or so cloud burst comes pouring over you. You watch as the tracks leading up the edge of the dune start to wash out.
Melt.
They will find their justice one. that they use.
Max curses very loudly and profusely in Infernal.
Just
Been a long day, okay?
no, I know.
Karak checks the other houses just to make sure that they aren't trapped with any other anything else, and if anything looks like they might be, he's going to ask Barton to use Mage Hand again, but no reason to try to have somebody else die just because those bastards booby trapped him.
You get the same thing at the next door, the other house. The other two actually both have the same kind of string rigged up with a bell. Whether or not you're super nervous to have Batran open them or not, you want him opening both of them?
Just to make sure, we may as well.
Yeah.
Probably nothing, but no reason to chance it.
With the mage hand out, Batran easily manipulates both the doors, and they let out a soft ring as they open with no other ill effect.
All right.
At the very least, we can ride out the storm in these shelters.
Okay. I need to know, after you ride out this storm, what's the plan for the group? Are we heading out across the desert on foot, trying to reach Rosita desperately? Trying to make our way out across the vast nothingness, or you have another idea?
Right. Shauna and Maximil, you know this desert the best. Is it possible for us to try to reach Rosita by foot, or is it just a foolhardy mission and we'd be risking our lives trying to do this?
There's a lot of cities. It may not be Rosita that we run into first, but we're likely to run into somebody.
And if we go out in enough of a diagonal, we should be able to cross paths with Rosita, in my opinion, headed from where we are. If we just go at enough of an angle, we may meet them at some point, but we'll have to meet it at a further point because we don't have camels, so we can't travel as quickly. So I think it'd probably be more danger than it's worth.
It's better than sitting here waiting to see what might come back.
This?
Oh, yeah.
No.
But what comes back may actually be evil bandits with little gizmos.
Well, yes, but we might also be just sitting here for days and days while our food runs out. So if Shauna thinks there may be a chance, I would say we risk it. We'll try to reach Rosita. Maybe we'll meet somebody else on the way. Get some camels. Get some more food. The one thing we do not lack is coin.
Fair point.
Well, I do have Mordecai's Private Sanctum as part of my spell, so if we get into the middle of the desert, I can always cast that, and we'll have some place to camp out in, so.
Oh, that's fine.
Good to know.
Thanks. You couldn't have used that the first time we were in the sandstorm?
Oh no, he was gone that day. Oh,
He was gone. That's right, yeah.
I didn't even look at his spell sheet. I forgot he had that. That's too funny. Oh, shucks.
I wanted you to feel part of the environment.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's go.
Yep.
Screw it.
We need to keep moving.
What more do we have to lose? Camels?
Those are all gone.
Sorry, Chana.
No.
She just starts crying again immediately.
Yeah, that makes me
Really sorry. I'm sorry.
Way to go, Maximil. I felt some sleep with
I didn't
Move your
get me
temper.
yet.
I'll just put an armor
Oh,
on
I
Shauna.
thought-
Just, if it's of any consolation, we will at least try to keep you safe.
Okay.
Come on.
I appreciate it.
Look what happened to the last. No, never mind.
Backle floats over to her.
Death is not the end.
Oh god.
Death is not the end.
Aw. She's so helpful.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay. So y'all begin to travel. Josh, you can go ahead and go now. Instead of having you travel for each day, I'm just gonna have you roll a couple checks as you begin to wander and try to find your way in the blistering heat of the desert. You find the cream is helpful those first couple of days, dealing with the incredible heat of the desert sun as you continue trying to make your way to the northwest.
Could we travel at night?
You can swap to traveling at night if you would like to.
I feel like if we're walking on foot, I feel like it would be safer, easier to travel by foot at night, right?
And if we're during the day, Maximiel will cast Prestidigitation on everyone to make their feel like cooler, which is either something Thaumaturgy or Prestidigitation can do, but like lower the temperature of people just slightly.
Hey, cool.
So we traveling
Magic AC.
Traveling at night then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Midnight Parliament hours.
Out making late night travels. I'm going to need a survival check from each member of the group. You guys find that during the night, your pace slows tremendously. It's hard to tell what dangers lie out in the desert.
7.
Hard to tell what creatures may be lurking as you're making your way through the darkness of the desert. It is very cold out here when the temperature drops overnight.
19.
14 for Tarak.
25.
Oh,
When you're on the run from Oodland, you learn how to survive harsh climate.
You do.
Wheat.
Oh, oops. I jumped out. Over the course of the next week, you guys find yourselves trying your very hardest to make it to the northwest. On foot, late nights, trying to sleep during the day and stay out of the heat. You do the best you can with spells and some sort of covering, but the dryness of the air starts to get to you. Thankfully, Maximiel, you have the endless water from your decanter to keep you all hydrated.
Yes.
You have feed for a group of camels that no longer exist to keep some food in your systems at least. Any rations that you all have as part of your normal rations kits go entirely. You are to a point where after a week of travel, you guys have burned through what exists of your current food stores except for the camel feed and hunting on your own. But it's not the food or the missing water or the water that starts to get to you, because you happen to have both of those in decent supply. The endless sand and the breathing and shuffling footsteps of your compatriots, and something about the vast nothingness of this desert starts to weigh on each of you independently. Botrin, even while you were alone or felt alone for all those decades inside of that library, you still had the presence of other people enough to entertain your mind that you could keep busy.
Well, I had the green of the trees and all that stuff, and that is completely absent out here.
Dorn, while you've always been on the run from something or moving, it has never felt so slow and monotonous and endless to you. You all swear multiple times that you see the spires and the white dome of that temple, or an oasis or a palm tree just over the next horizon, stating that there may be another person besides the 6 of you in the very close proximity. Maximil, you think for a couple times you can hear the thumps of cities as they walk past you in the desert. But I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. As the long, endless nights of travel and attempting to sleep in the incredibly dry heat of the sun starts to creep up on you all.
$16.
17.
14.
4.
5.
DC was 18. So,
Cool.
Botrin and Soren, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. Everybody who failed by 10 or more gained 2 levels of exhaustion.
Wait, you said DC was 18?
18, yep. Oh, you said you got a 17 plus 1. This is not an encounter, though. This is just the travel. This is not a plus 1 from that encounter roll.
So, exhaustion. Cool. Can't wait to die in the desert.
By the end of that first 8-day trek, scrambling around the desert, Doran, as the guide, make a survival check.
Okay.
Oh, him. I'm not guiding.
Yep, Doran as the guide. Wow.
Even with a disadvantage,
Nice.
that's a 22.
23.
Somewhere along the lines, Chana must have pointed you in the wrong direction as she was trying to help you go northwest. Or she distracted you somehow with the incessant crying and the concern about her safety and whether or not she was going to survive. You find yourself a whole, almost 60 miles south of your original plan.
Oh, jeez.
I need an additional wisdom save from Doran as you discover that information.
I don't. Yeah, it's a 4.
You take 2 more levels of exhaustion.
Oh, cool.
Something is clawing at the back of your mind about the madness that you are dealing with out here. The majority of you start to feel like you're hearing whispers coming at you from over the dunes. Maximiel, you spent your entire life above the sands for a reason. You know how hellish this place can be. And a couple times in particular, you are certain Zephon is standing on the dune, looking at you, waiting for you to walk up and talk to him.
So, question.
Yeah.
We have the knob of Hearth and Home. Every 3 days, we can use it.
You
It's
have,
been a
We
week
use
and
it
a half.
on the tent.
you have,
Can we use it on the tent?
you cannot use it on the tent, and you have not found a suitable location out here in the sands.
Nowhere.
Not in the
Anywhere in
depth
the
of
last
the
week
desert.
and a half.
Just
In the last 8
soft
days,
sand as far
soft
as I
sand
can
as far as
see.
you can see. This is the heart of the Ethereal Desert. You have left the mountains and the stronger rock formations far, far behind you. Since leaving that oasis, Soren, with that, actually, you are pretty sure something's eating at the back of your mind that maybe Chana's telling Doran to lead you in the wrong direction so you can't get home and see your wife. So you can't walk through and back to Basat and enjoy an evening's rest. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, it's a disadvantage. Sweet.
You gain 1 level of exhaustion
Okay.
and a healthy amount of suspicion towards Chana.
Yeah, okay.
Maximiel,
It's half of 64.
the few times that you see Zephon standing on the dunes, calling to you in the night. Most of the time he's standing there nice, looking at you, but every once in a while you catch him out of the corner of his eye, holding his head underneath one arm as he's calling out to you.
Oh, God.
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
12.
I'll take a level of exhaustion. By the beginning of the next week, most of you feel too exhausted to move. In fact, you see Chana at one point get up early in the morning and start to roll up her bedroll, and she starts preparing to walk for the day. She kind of kicks at Botch or Dexter. Come on, buddy, we gotta get moving. It's time to walk. Anybody stopping her because she starts to walk off into the desert thinking it's time to move?
Wait,
Oh,
Sean, we move by night.
But the camels, they got the things on them that keep us safe.
No, camels are gone. Look around.
And you will be too if you keep walking.
We have to stay together. We travel by night.
You walk off
It's
without
too
us,
hot
you walk
by
off
day.
without water.
Okay. And she just kind of lays down in the sand underneath the covering.
I take out her bedroll and make it nice for her. Try and help.
You all tuck in for the day of the 40th, preparing to rest for the daytime, the evening. And everybody except Maximiel wakes up feeling slightly more refreshed, a little cooler, and not with the feeling of a bedroll below you and the heat above you, but the feeling of cool tiles. That evening, as you awake, you find yourselves all, except for Maximiel, inside of a foyer, including Chana.
The temple.
Soren, you awake first.
All right.
And you see a figure sitting next to a small table with a pitcher and a set of 6 glasses. It's a little dark and hard to see in this environment, but you definitely feel cool tiles beneath your feet, and you are in a building of some sort. Around you, there's pillars that stretch 20 feet up towards a domed ceiling, curtains hanging, and behind this individual is a hallway that stretches out to what looks like a small gazebo in an opening, maybe some sort of garden. Further beyond that person, you can see other figures moving as your eyes kind of blur and come into focus. You can see people moving about. Not many, walking in pairs. They all seem to have copper and blue robes. And this individual sitting at the small chair with the side table, reading a book, pouring a glass of something.
What do they look like?
You can't see the face behind the book. There seems to be a big cowl, copper and blue cowl pulled up. Make a perception check.
Disadvantage. Wow, that's a 1 and a 2.
They've got copper and blue arm wraps and gloves on, and it's hard to tell from here, but they're pouring a cup.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and just instinctively, like, we're not where we were. This isn't real. Do I see anybody else in the room? Friends, allies,
You
anyone?
can see your friends in various states of grogginess besides Maximiel. and you get a massive field of divination and illusion magic all around you. It is blinding as it glows and fills your vision.
Where's Max? I'll stammer to my feet, pull out daggers, just assuming this is bad. Where's the girl?
Oh, the one from the walkers, the cities.
Where is she?
Right there.
I'm not going to ask again.
She's right there. You look out behind the gazebo, lying with one leg kind of laying out of the sand, but underneath the covering you guys had set up. Maximil's still on her bedroll.
Stumble over and kind of look at this person as I walk back to her, putting the daggers away. What do they look like?
The Yanti half-blood puts the book down, and you see this snake face with the cobra fins up as it reaches over and hands you a cup. Please, you seem thirsty.
Immediately ignore that. Just go to Max.
You impact into a wall of force. We don't allow many people inside here. Those that walk in the cities tend to look down on us.
She is the exception. Let her in.
I would do that. The Cathedral of Yijun helps anybody who's in need in the desert, and
look at her.
She
is in need.
She is, but she is the exception to what we usually don't allow in here. But we are a society based on balance, and we'll exchange service for a service.
God, fuck.
Generally, we would exchange a small service for the lot of you, but she's an exception.
One extortionist for another. Fine. Let her in.
And if you agree, just sign here, please. And there's a small circular paper that's handed to you that has what appears just to be a divine contract with Yijun.
Can I read it?
Yeah, it's in common. As soon as you grab it, whatever language it was in before, you see the letters shift before your eyes, and it changes. And it's an agreement to maintain the balance. It talks a lot about the balance. And you can see now that you're holding this like light blue paper that the copper inlays, and now that your vision is cleared a bit, this clockwork etching along the edges of the paper in copper. And the gear's teeth is lining in copper on the blue robes and the hood of this individual. Yijun is someone that you've probably heard of in passing. I mean, you've freaking heard of the random tiefling ancient god, but Yijun is known as well as a god of balance, and artificers follow them, as well as clockwork soul sorcerers tend to know about Yijun.
Okay.
But it's a simple contract. They will save you and provide you shelter and food and respite, free access to their facility as you need, their temple as you need it, as long as you agree to carry out a task.
Fine.
And at this point, the rest of you are in varying states of disarray, standing up, seeing Soren holding this piece of paper.
Can I do an investigation check on it to see if there's like any loopholes that are gonna fuck us over?
Absolutely.
Okay. Disadvantage. Oh, dude, no way. 18 and the 17.
Nice.
Finally, when it counts. So for investigation +4, so 20. Can't do math right now. I actually have a point of exhaustion. 22.
There's no loopholes. It's pretty cut and dry and standard contract. It's very clear that they want to give you help, and in doing so, their religion requires you to strike a balance.
So just pull out the quill from my pocket and sign. You said it's a circular piece of paper?
Yeah, it's a circular piece of paper.
All right, sign it very quickly, pass it back, get her inside.
And as soon as you finish etching it, you hear a little thump, and there's a poof of sand that skitters across your feet. And Maximiel, you awake with a start.
Yeah.
Turns out we were in need.
As you were, yes. If you would all like to accompany me, I'm sure you would like to rest and take advantage of the temple. Welcome to the Cathedral of Ijun.
Thank you for your hospitality. It's really appreciated. You're so kind.
Anything we could do.
I'll help Chana up to her feet and I guess follow.
Max, this is out of a fairy tale for you. The Cathedral of Ijun is something you heard stories about as a kid that is not supposed to exist. People talk about miraculous saviors of the desert, but you've never actually met anybody who's been here. And Chana's the exact same way. She's completely in awe of what's going on around her. As you come in... oh yeah, go ahead, Tarak.
Sorry. Did Tarak notice that Soren was signing anything? Or
Oh yeah, everybody except for Maximiel was waking up and watched Soren sign something.
Okay.
Reluctantly and
Soren,
quickly.
Sorry, I still not with it. What was it that you were doing?
It's an agreement of some sort. We're going to help them maintain a balance. It's their religion, I suppose. It's in exchange for us being allowed to stay here.
From the front, the priest that's leading it. Very simple contract, really. We provide you a service and you provide one for us. Ijun expects balance in all things and you will provide balance.
That is fair. What kind of service do you want us to provide for you?
Oh, don't worry about that yet. You have plenty of time. We have at least a few days before we need you. We want you well rested and fed, and please enjoy the temple.
To live all of the rest of the weekend.
Where are you headed? We found you in the middle of the desert in a place that is very
Basat.
inhospitable. Basat. By way of...
And Rosita.
Chasing Rosita to get to Passant, yes.
And as you're walking through the temple to the gazebo, you come to this spot in the middle that has a small rounded shape, just a mound of sand. And as you're kind of passing this little garden in a mound of sand, the priest waves a hand over it, and you watch as the sand ripples and changes, and the elevation changes the mountains, and you can see little runic symbols moving very slowly through the desert. You can see, and she leans in and goes, this is us, and Rosita right here. And clearly on the map you can see Rosita moving along at a very steady pace on the track you guys expected it to be. And she waves it again and it kind of disappears. We have a few places to stay. I hope you don't mind dormitory style. We have a couple private rooms, but we have other guests that are visiting us. I apologize.
Other guests.
You have bats?
Bats?
Bats, yes.
Bats. Yes. We do have bats, yes. You can find the library is quite extensive if you would like to read while you rest and recuperate. We have the baths available as well. Food can be brought to you, or you can visit the dining hall. This is a large white marble domed temple structure. As you kind of come in from the front, you see old, almost Greek style pillars, and then the can't think of all my Greek style architecture names, but the flat beams going across the top of the pillars, leaving an opening on the top. So not actually enclosing in a room, but it fans out to more of a T shape. I think so. Fans out to almost a T shape with two spires on the back and then a couple wings. But this place probably holds no more than 150 people at any given time.
What was the name of the group that fucked us over?
This is screwed you over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ruddy's Brigade.
Ruddy's
Brigade.
Okay. any of your other guests include members of Buddy's Brigade?
Oh no, it's a rather vile group of individuals. We don't like that they extort from people, so they don't. They bring imbalance to the world. We don't appreciate them.
That's why we're here.
Our camels.
I'm sorry that befell you, but now we can hopefully repay you with this favor. You can repay us with one, and we'll bring balance back to the world. So, baths, library, food, sleep. But you all just had a restless sleep, it looks like. Maybe I suggest food and some light reading.
Looks.
I'll start with the food.
Okay.
And some good rest.
I need sleep.
I'm going to the baths.
So you see, as you're talking and like requesting various things, 3 more sets of priests. This is an individual priest by themselves, but 3 more come up to you, and there are among them 3 Yuan-Ti half-bloods, a human, a tiefling, and a human, a tiefling, and a half-elf. All various groups of people.
Do they pay us any mind as we're here? Like, do they look surprised to see us?
Sorry, Adia came in to show off a leotard, and I was like, just give me like 15 minutes, jeez. They walk up to you, and as you're saying, I'd like to go to take a bath, I'd like to go sleep, they are gently like reaching out a hand to guide you to where you're wanting to go. Please go with them. They'll take care of you. You are under our protection here, and under the cover and guise of Ijun, you will not be seen in the desert.
The one that grabs me, I kind of look at them and like blink deliriously and go, I thought you were a myth. I guess I was mistaken.
How can you be funny at a time like this?
They chuckle. They find humor. That's quite good, madam. The library, then? Something to read?
Sleep first.
Well, you just had sleep. Would you all maybe like something to drink? We have some revitalizing teas that can help refresh you and get you more rested.
Yeah.
It does actually sound quite...
And then an additional person, a dwarf, walks up carrying a small tray. The same type of pitcher you saw just a moment ago, Soren, with 6 cups on it, and kind of pours one out for each of you. I think you'll like it. This will get a little bit of pep back in your step, and then you can rest well tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Going well. Tarak, that just chugs it all in one big gulp.
Yeah, it's spicy. Red teas with very, very tangy and sharp notes that puts pep in your step. You all clear a level of exhaustion for taking a drink of this.
Yeah, I'm down to 4.
Hey, I'm down to 3.
And you're kind of, reinvigorated. You can go about whatever activities you like for the evening. Or the day, actually, I should say. It's the freaking morning. You slept... No, it is the evening. That's right. You guys slept through the day, and it is nighttime right now. And you can hear the rain pouring outside too, but it doesn't make its way in here. This wall of force, this massive force spell that encompasses this place, keeps the rain from coming in here. There's a slight trickle coming down into the garden, but it's clear, Soren, just at first glance, that they're allowing in what they want to. But Magic wanted to go get some, Tarak wanted to get some food. Botrin wanted to go to the baths. Doran, where did you want to head to?
Doran is face first down in the first bed he sees. Just...
Additional long rest, okay. Tarak,
Yeah, same.
food.
I'm in no condition to be doing fucking anything else.
Yeah. That's the most...
Tarak is going to do the same thing after food. Sleep again.
And Maximil, library? Is that where you said you wanted to head?
She does want to eventually go to the library, but perhaps when she doesn't feel like feeling over.
Okay. So a little sleep and some food for everybody. Botrin, you find the bathhouse to be quite nice. It's fairly shallow, only about 3.5, 4 feet deep. So you gotta sit down under the shelf and like really kind of like bathe yourself a little bit. There's some oils available, but it's not as fancy as Rosita by any means. Tarak, the food is all wonderfully spicy local cuisine. Feels great and like it's back home for you. But you get a meal in you, and you guys are brought to a kind of a bunk meeting area, or area where you guys can all, grab a rest together. Let me get everybody just to roll a d20 straight.
Hey!
16.
16.
That's a 1.
I rolled a 6.
$16 for Max, you said?
Yep.
And Tarak.
And Tarak.
Yeah.
Okay. Max, you end up wandering for a little bit, just kind of delirious and enjoying the sights of everything. And you eventually bump into Tarak as you guys are kind of walking about. You had been shown to where your room was when you were ready, but Tarak's got some food and drink and feels like he's getting ready to turn in for the evening.
This place is almost too good to be true. I find it hard to trust people who just out of nowhere appear and give us exactly what we want.
Favor, and they're known for doing that. It's a really interesting myth. I could tell you all about it later, but it's actually quite fascinating, the differences in history that show up with it. How some people think of it one way, other people think of it another. I'm rambling, aren't I?
It's the bed. I feel the same. I feel like some sleep would serve me well.
As she's rambling, you turn towards the dormitory area where you were heading to get some rest. And you notice both of you notice kind of at the same time that there was the 2 private rooms near the front, and you guys had to go down the hall, and they told you at the end of the hall is the dormitory. That's where you'll be staying. You can see a big curtains pulled back, and you can hear Dorn snoring from the end of the hall, just sawing logs.
Now it's a flame.
As he's doing that, you both kind of notice simultaneously the left-hand door in the entrance to this hallway is kind of cracked open a little bit. But what catches you off guard is the black charcoal NW drawn on the front of that door.
My goodness.
What are you two doing?
Tarak's
Open?
It's cracked open.
Yeah, Tarak's sleepiness is kind of disappears. He kind of looks at Max. Okay, without saying a word, we kind of try to take a closer look inside.
You peek inside to a small room, has a bed and a small desk, a slew of books, just a pile of books and papers stacked all over the desk. Somebody's clearly been working in here. You can see a half-filled cup and a napkin that's dirty, just freshly used, like someone had just wiped off their mouth or something, and just a cursory glance over. Someone's clearly was just working in here and just briefly stepped out. But what catches your eye is there's a journal. It's just open, sitting on the desk. And it's open to like this last page where something is written on there. And there's from this distance, it's hard to tell. Maybe some sort of jam or jelly, but could be blood on the page. It's really difficult to tell from here.
All right, we approach and what? Oh, okay. Tarak is going to keep a lookout as.
Use your eyes and eagles to look at the page.
Oh, why don't we just get closer?
Read about going in.
Oh, so we're still outside the room.
You just kind of barely push the door open and are kind of like looking inside.
Well, does the room seem empty?
It looks empty. There's nobody in here.
Okay. All right. So I'll say, I'll keep a watch. Check out the journal. Yes. Check out the journal.
Okay. Max Goose steps in, opens the door.
You get
left, right.
Yeah, you step into the room. Nobody's in there. It's a very small room. You know, it's like 8 foot by 10 foot. You know, it's somebody's guest room. But the journal is really there's a whole ton of books. There's the journal there. The bed's messy. Like someone's been just actively in here and stuck in this room doing stuff and working and hasn't stepped out too often.
All right, what's on the page?
You get into the first sentence, and I'm going to ask you, Maximiel, do you call Tarak over when the word phenomancy shows up in the first sentence on the page?
I don't. I just continue to read.
Okay.
I want to get more information before I call him.
Into the lore and information chat, or a picture. And I'm going to share it on stream there. But you see this tattered notebook page with this splatter in the bottom. And I'll let you read it out. Can you read it out on your phone, or do you want me to read it out for you, since it might be a little hard to see on your phone?
I can read it out on my phone.
Okay.
My Caspiel 151. My final submission. I have done it. The phenomancy has paid off. The infusion of the crystals have made for great power additions. I can feel the potential coming from it. I taste something bitter, like expired fruit with a hint of char. Strange the effects of concentrated power. Today I embark on my true mission. My path to prove that power isn't just for those able to take. I will find you. Oh my God.
Do you call Tarak over to you? Or what are you doing in this moment here? What's Maximiel's reaction?
I look at the beginning of the journal. Is there a name in it?
You start flipping through, and in your exhaustion, you bumble and, like, in excitement, and knock the pitcher over on the desk. And Tarak, you hear this racket coming from inside the room as Maximiel knocks everything over and starts to spill stuff onto the desk.
Tarak rushes inside because he thinks maybe something happened.
Name. Come on. What? Everyone writes their name at the beginning of a journal.
What happened? What you doing?
Is there a name at the beginning of the journal?
You hear before you get to that moment, someone creep around the corner. Standing in the doorway, you see about a 6 foot tall, seasoned man, long hooded coat, pulling his hood down as he just came back from outside. You see his hair showing through his two-toned, one side completely ghost white, and the rest salt and peppered. You also see bits of gold peeking through as buttons and belt buckles pop from the jacket and beneath, and then fabrics and leathers below of blacks and blues and some type of padding. You also see maybe he's trying to conceal some armor underneath his clothing there. And after he catches you and you gaze upon his wares, he kind of turns slightly and adjusts his stance for whatever is about to come next. And he says to you both, Well, well. Prying eyes and sticky fingers gets people in trouble. Should I call the guards or should I handle this ourselves?
Did you write this?
He steps into the room and closes the door behind him and locks the door.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Grabs a hold of his staff and just waits to see what happens next.
And there is the art for Josh's character.
Let's see.
Oh, that is so cool. Holy shit.
So cool.
Interesting.
So he doesn't have
I
his
like
mask up,
mask.
but hood is down.
Oh my god.
Does that mean
I
we
love
get
it.
the party pick?
That means you get the party picture too.
Yes!
Yeah!
Right.
Great! Let's see the party pic.
Need that party picture.
I'm so excited for this.
There it is. The Midnight Parliament.
Oh my goodness.
He's up there. Oh, that's
Nice.
very cool.
That's sick. Ah,
Very
Speckle,
cool.
gross.
Oh, Speckle, gross.
Oh, we got to get to it tonight. Sam's still here.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
excited.
so much.
Very
That
cool.
was amazing, Sam. Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Very, very cool.
Fantastic. Baby's getting angry out there. But that was amazing. Sam, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just over the moon excited. And yeah, that is me in the bear that Sam worked the Cyorion logo into.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's phenomenal. I love it.
It
so
looks
much.
so good colored. I love
it's
it.
so good.
Stained glass.
But that's where
That
we'll
is
end this
very
session. Thanks, Josh, for finally getting to intro your new character. I'm glad. Josh is back. Wait.
Good to have you back, Josh.
Do we
It's good to be back.
do we get to switch over and reveal a name, or we're gonna wait till next week?
Wait until next week.
Wait till
Next
Next
week is
week.
the 4th of July.
Oh, wait 2 weeks. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say his name is Blair.
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 I almost want you to reveal it now, just because of the humor factor that comes along with it, as we're here in this moment.
Humor factor.
No, there's a very funny part about that because of some epic screw ups on our part.
I don't know the connection.
Oh my gosh.
What's the name?
His name is Jaeger Hellstrom.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep. And yeah, the humor from that was when Josh accidentally was rolling the character and we didn't delete the rolls, and Nate's like, "Who's this Jaeger Hellstrom that's in the freaking roll history?" And I was like, "Shit,
Nice.
delete it, shit."
So I'm assuming we are not playing next week then.
No, we will be off
I don't
for the
have plans.
4th. I mean, I personally don't know what I've got going on. But if people are wanting to do stuff on the 4th, we can take the day off. We'll play it by ear during the week. If everybody wants to play and they're at home,
Cool.
Let's freaking play. Like, I got the day off. We can even, like, if I got nothing going on with the fam, we might play a longer session. I don't know. We'll see. We will play it by ear. We will see what everybody's up
We
to.
might be out.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Like I said,
We'll
we'll
see.
I may
figure it
be
out.
occupied. We'll see.
We will.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll just play it by ear. But everybody, thanks for coming back with us this week. And yeah, thanks for a fantastic evening. And welcome to Josh's new character. He doesn't have to say assistant regional DM anymore. We'll get to see all about Jaeger in the
Nice.
coming weeks. But
Fun.
thanks for joining us, everybody, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.